Welcome to Film Positive, possibly the first film appreciation channel of Indian movies for the global Indian. I'm R. Rajiv, based out of the US, and I intend to appreciate films, not just review them, but appreciate films and look at the positive aspects of some of the films that I enjoyed. I intend to appreciate primarily Tamil films, but also I watch Telugu, Hindi, Marathi, Malayalam, Kannada films, and will try my best to look at some of these films and share my positive experience. This episode of Film Positive will focus on my 10 favorite films of the year so far. These 10 films are not in any specific order. It's not a ranking per se. The first movie out of my 10 best picks is Managaram. Now, the striking thing about this film is casting. There is nothing called a supporting cast in this film. I mean, the characters are so intricate. The story has complex parallel layers happening in real time and all interconnected. So every character actually moves the story forward, and the way the supporting cast has been designed, it's just brilliant. And the other positive thing about this film is the pacing. For a movie like this, it could have been fast paced, it could have had a lot of fast cuts, and it could have had, a massive background scores or background scores that elevate the suspense, but the director did not resort to any of these methods, and the pacing was just smooth and steady. And for a complex plot like this, I think it got the right balance of how fast the film should be or how slow the film should be, and really enjoyed the way they have done the pacing, and which in turn means the editing. So if you really want to understand how editing is evolving, I really believe that the last few movies that I've watched, especially movies this year, it's kind of going back to long shots, slow cuts, smooth and steady flow of scenes. It's very encouraging. It's very beautiful the way some of these movies have emerged, and Managaram is one such film where editing, pacing, casting, and of course the intricate plot really blows you away. The other thing about Managaram is Sandeep Kishan's acting. Sandeep, I think, is probably on par with Ranbir Kapoor. I mean, some of you may not agree to it, or some of you may find it ridiculous, but to me, an actor is someone who has 0% camera consciousness. And Ranbir Kapoor, Simbu, quite a few others actually are literally, they dissolve themselves and they're absolutely not conscious of the camera. So Sandeep Kishan has done a brilliant job of just being there as the character. Whether the camera was there or not, I think he would have probably enacted the same way. The next one is Power Pandi. It's one of the best romantic movies in recent times. I would put the love track of Raj Kiran and Revati on par with Maunaragam, Karthik and Revati again, or Varanam Ayiram, Samira Reddy and Surya. It's just so poignantly done. Both Raj Kiran and Revati have just done a brilliant job. And the writing, I mean, who thought Dhanush had such a wonderful writer in him? The dialogues, the way the scenes have been constructed, it's so elegantly done, so natural, so effortless, and yet gives such a lasting impact. I only wish that this movie had released maybe a couple of weeks before Bahubali. I really think it got a very short run, because I believe Bahubali 2 released just a week after Power Pandi released. So again, it's available legally online, and it's a beautiful family film. I'm sure you will enjoy it as much as I did. The next is Kavan. Again, a typical KV Anand brand of films. Probably one of his best in his style of filmmaking, in my opinion. Kavan is the next film I would put in my list of 10 movies to watch so far this year. And if you see Kavan, it's the way they have exposed the media, especially the television industry. It's just too brilliant the way the canvas has been set, and without any compromise they've actually gone after the media. It's actually a bold thing to do, and done extremely well, and it's one of my I would say the best KV Anand movie. His style of filmmaking, it's probably his best, I would say. The next is Yettu Thottakkal, again a game changer this year. Same ideas, I mean slow pace, steady shots, and MS Bhaskar's scene in the canteen, a single take. I mean, when did we last see a single take where a character is performing for close to about 15 minutes and the shot is just frozen on him and he just draws you into his emotions like magic. I really hope and wish MS Bhaskar gets a national award or a state award for this, for just the 10-15 minutes of the canteen scene. It's again one of the game-changing movies this year, where the plot, the editing, the performance, and of course MS Bhaskar's acting, it's just stellar. I mean, definitely one of my favorite picks. The next one is Nalu Perukku Nalladhuna Edume Thappilla. I wondered, what kind of a title is this? When I started watching this film, I'm like, okay, what is this? Nalu Perukku Nalladhuna Edume Thappilla. I really think the title in some sense did not draw people to this movie because it is one of the best con movies I've seen in recent times. If you like Sadaranga Vettai and Sodukavum, this is on par with that. Almost all the actors are newcomers, and casting again is brilliant. I mean, as much as Managaram had a few known faces, pulling off a movie like this, which is almost like a unknown star cast, just brilliant. I mean, and the scenes, the way the scenes have been conceived. My favorite is the barber scene. There's a scene which happens in a barber shop. Again, beautifully done. So kudos to this film. I really hope it ran well. I'm not sure about the commercial success of this film, but I wish more such films go into a much bigger platform and be better known, even though it doesn't have a big star cast or a big director, or just, I mean, if I were to put the number one underdog film this year, it would be Nalu Perukku Nalladhuna Edume Thappilla. Trust me, you won't regret it if you like the con film genre. Alright, this could be a kind of an oddball. Singham 3, thoroughly enjoyable. If you like the Singham franchisee, you just get drawn into the characters, the landscapes, Surya's performance, and of course the legendary fast cuts of Hari, the director. It takes it to a different level altogether. So Singham 3, again, thoroughly enjoyable masala affair. Yakai and Krishna has acted in this. I again not sure about the commercial success of this film, but beautiful crime thriller, very well done by Krishna and Prakash Raj. After a long time, you see him on screen, that too in a very subtle role, not over the top. So if you like crime dramas and you like good performances, Yakai is a good pick for a nice weekend watch. The next one is Lens. What can I say? Jai Prakash has set a new standard for low budget filming. Just 3 or 4 characters, 2 apartments, maybe some outdoor shots in Munnar, shot on a shoestring budget, but what a brilliant movie. And it just draws you in. It's kind of an experience. It's beyond just being a movie. It touches certain dark corners and certain dark emotions, and being able to do that with just 2 or 3 characters and a couple of laptops, which actually in my mind are the main characters, beautifully done. The next one is Kaatru Veliyidai. Some of you may wonder what's wrong with me because of all the reviews, and the movie didn't do well, but to me, it was an experience. It was a cinematic experience. Yes, there were certain elements lacking, and the Maniratnam expectation is always sky high. But if you leave all that apart, there was a kind of a different experience when you watch the film. The visual poetry, and again some of the long shots, and even the characterization of Karthi and Aditi Rao, could relate to it. I mean, people who are in 30s and 40s, there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of individuality when you fall in love at a much a later age. Very well done in terms of the characterization, and I'm not sure if this is the right interpretation, but Iruvar, when Maniratnam released Iruvar, as we all know, it didn't do well in the box office. People couldn't relate to the movie. The biggest issue with that film, according to the audience and the media, was at that time it didn't have a story. It was just more like a docudrama, and just a collection of scenes that may have happened in Indian Tamil political history. Today it's an archive film. We still celebrate Iruvar. So Kaatru Velide, again, I have a feeling will grow over a period of time. It does have a kind of a very new experience, a kind of an undercurrent in the film. Once you are able to catch that undercurrent, I think it takes you into a nice journey. The other picks are Kutram 23, Arun Vijay, brilliant performance, lovely crime thriller. So I think this year overall, if you see, has been a comeback of sorts for small films but very impactful films, highly engaging, highly engrossing. It really shows that budget is not everything, and small is big. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Film Positive. I'll see you again with a review of films that I enjoy, both that release online as well as in theaters here in the US. Thank you.